So the shows you mentioned, NCIS, that's quite a different feel, obviously, from this high school sitcom. What's it like to be on a sitcom again and working with comedians?
It's a little different because it's a 3-camera, so there's an audience, but it's great because I get to be with Gabe Iglesias and Jacob, who we did a film in South America, so it's nice to see him again and to work together. It's a lot of fun.
Is it hard not to laugh, like sometimes at some of the jokes?
Sometimes you have to wait for the laugh to end because there's an audience, so that was a little bit hard to get used to.
And how about working with kids? I mean, again, it's a very different sort of genre than you're used to, and you're working with high school students. What's that like?
They're adults. They're not really kids.
I mean, that's so true. Consummate professionals.
They look like kids, but they're young adults, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what can you tell us about your role on the show?
I'm Principal Paula Madison, and I am friends with Gabe, but here's where we clash. He wants to save every child, and as the principal, I need the school to be blue ribbon, so we clash because we can't save every child, as I keep trying to tell Gabe. So I got a bleeding heart friend, and of course that just causes chaos.
Wow, that's like a really relevant topic to the actual real world. Are you seeing any crossover between stuff that you think is actually happening out there in the real world and the show?
That's what I love about this show, because we have a message. These kids have a voice. So we're talking about clear backpacks. We're talking about Latinx, the gender roles. It's so many messages, but Gabe makes sure that it's funny, that we bring funny to it. So it's not, like we had to throw a message in there. So it's very authentic.
We haven't seen anything other than maybe a teaser of the show. So what can you tell us about the show and your role on the show?
Man, I mean, this show first of all, it's a funny show. It's got a lot of heart, and it's got a lot of humor. But it's a good old-fashioned sitcom. And what I love most about it is that you can watch it with the entire family. There's something for everybody. I always say, like, my wife and I will watch a TV show, and then as soon as our 8-year-old comes in, it's like, oh, pause it. You can't hear it. This, like, my 8-year-old's excited about it. My 15-year-old's excited about it. My wife. So there's a lot of people excited about the show from all different ages and ethnicities, and it's a very, very diverse cast as well. So I feel like there's something for everybody in this show.
I'll add myself. What can you tell us about you and your character on the show?
So I play Grace Lee, and she's a very social, anxious character. So I think it's such a really big topic to tackle because of how many people have anxiety today, and it's we tackle it in like a comedic way. So it's so fun, and I think the diversity in the show is amazing, and I'm so blessed to be on it. So yeah.
Well, it's really exciting. It seems like it's a great cast. Did you have some favorite moments from set, or did anything kind of funny or surprising happen while on set?
You know what? We did have a lot of toys, like, in our desks, so we would play in between, and we would have, like, yo-yos and puzzles, and we just go at it. But I think since we had a live audience, we could, like, play off of their feedback, too, so it was so fun.
Yeah. And so you're kind of playing what I feel like a lot of young adults can relate to. I've only seen the preview, but it looks like you're kind of a Romeo in training, right? Like, you're kind of a ladies' man?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about that part of your character.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so great, becoming a part of this show. They really allowed us all to implement parts of ourselves into the show, and I just had to stay true to who I was. And I think Lorenzo is kind of that up-and-coming young Fresh Prince who's just kind of getting his feet.
Fresh Prince, I like that.
Yeah, just kind of getting his feet and learning about himself, as are all the other characters, and I hope that throughout the show we can see these kids grow into young adults.
Well, congratulations on the premiere of Mr. Iglesias. What an exciting night.
Incredible.
So when this show comes across your desk, was it like a no-brainer? How did you come to be running Mr. Iglesias?
Well, Gabriel and I had worked together before on a show called Cristela on ABC. We'd done 10 episodes together, and Netflix was aware of that, and Andy Wheel, who works at Netflix, had worked with me on my very first pilot for CBS a long, long time ago. And so I got a call that Netflix was interested in me to develop a project for Gabriel Iglesias. And so I got in my car and was like, that sounds awesome. And then the process of collaborating with Gabe is as fun as you can imagine. It's like